my friends, it is I, Alphinius Goo, and you are in the Gooey Cube on Goo Morning Zyathé with Grant. Say hello, Grant.
Hello, Grant.
Yes, marvelous. You know, that joke is very old.
I will still do it every time.
And Camera Mendy behind the camera. Say
Hello.
Camera Mendy.
Hello.
Who's wearing her cool hat again?
I am. Here, I'll show it in just a second
Put
here.
a picture up there, right? Real quick.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, whatever, Camera Mendy. Oh, there she is. Look, you can see Grant and me. Wave, Grant. You see us
Whoa.
there? On the
Yeah.
yes, right there. Yes. We could run the show like this one time, Camera Mendy, with us talking from there. Anyway.
I don't think people want me on the screen for that
Yes,
long.
they would. You are marvelous. Yes, you are.
I am always like looking really like intensely at the comments and then like doing a bunch of things.
That is
so
true. That's that look.
It's-
now,
it's-
I'm going to
it's-
tell you, be prepared.
for what?
The comments are going to fly today.
Yes.
Yes, my friends, yes, because not only are we talking with Marvelous Grant about this amazing portrait thing that we have done, which we'll talk about in a moment, we are also talking about the great OGL controversy. Yes, you know of the
Yes.
controversy?
Oh, I'm aware.
Yes, you've been keeping your eyes on this, yes. Camera Mendy, you have watched some of these videos and stuff?
Yes. I'm trying not to get too worried about anything because it's all speculation at this point.
So today, my friends, as I told some dear friends, the Foresters, this morning, you are going to meet Kim. Yes.
Oh.
Kim is a marketing guy. Yes. This is what he does. Yes. And has done it for many years. Has a storied career, even. He is going to come and talk about this. He is an interesting dude. Not nearly as interesting as I. And certainly much more interesting than Al Fabio. Yes. So.
I don't know that that's true. I have known Kim since I was a wee baby. A wee baby. He's not that interesting.
Yes, Kim held little Camera Mendy in his hand like this with her little head right here, her
Oh my
little body right
goodness.
there, and her little legs right there, just like this. Yes, that's what Kim did because Kim is Camera Mendy's godfather. Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, aha. Yes. All right, my friends. So, without further ado, Camera Mendy. So also, I guess I should tell everybody what's going on. So, yes, we're going to talk with Grant about this marvelous portraits that he did for his group. We're very excited to do this because we're giving away all these portraits this month. Now, Grant is also the Grant who gave away 2 $60 gift cards of his own volition. I did not twist his arm, grab his finger, pull, nothing like that. I would never pull your finger. Definitely not in this small room either. That would be a mistake. Camera Mendy. I got you, Camera Mendy. You are laughing. Usually she's like this, Grant, when I do this. She goes, oh, God. She's so annoying. Yes, that's what she does. But that time I got her laughing. You saw it over there, yes. Anyway, so we're going to do that. We're also going to talk about a little bit of social media. We got a couple of miniatures from Harry that we want to show and some really wonderful things that people have posted. And then we, of course, are doing giveaways. You know, remember we're doing the progressive giveaway where every time you come and put in your thing, you get an extra chance to win one of these 3 marvelous portraits. One being given away by Jim, one being given away by Randy because they both have already done their portraits and they had another one, and which is marvelous. We love you, Jim and Randy. Thank you. And one being given away by us. The one for us can go to anyone. Jim and Randy have actually specified that they would please like theirs to go to someone who hasn't been able to get one yet. So you have a chance to win a portrait, whether you've gotten one before or not, and you can give it as a gift, all those kinds of things. Plus, there's a special limited edition, specially signed Magica book, which we're giving away, and a secret prize that will be revealed later, which I promise is going to be pretty good.
Well, this all sounds like a lot of fun. I'm excited to get started. We have so much to get through, but I wanted to do something first.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I'm going to cut
This
over
is
to
going to
myself.
blow up 10 minutes of
No.
the
I'm
show.
going to go real fast. This is based off the comments of last week because I asked people about note taking and how they do notes for like politics and stuff like that. But Adam's starting a new campaign, the Tomb of Annihilation.
The Tomb of Annihilation.
Yes. And normally he is the note taker, but I have to take over as being the note taker because he's running it. And so I just wanted to show people what I have done is I went to Staples and I got a legal pad that has, well, here, let me hold it up to the camera.
Come on.
2
Camera,
columns.
Oh, look, it's too, wait, turn it a little bit. It's kind of bright. Turn it the other way. Oh, no,
There you go.
there you go. Yes.
Yes. So that way
Yeah.
you're able to like highlight on one column. This is a
Camera
suggestion.
Mendy, your notes are very disorganized.
I do the best I can. This is my first time.
Have you never gone to college or high school, or did you ever take notes?
I was just saying this is based on This is based on our chat. And then the other thing that I'm doing, which
So
I
know
just
with
dropped.
the chat, so everybody knows what was going on is Cameraman was asking who took notes and all this kind of stuff, right? And all these people popped up and gave her some good information, right? But she
They're all
actually-
talking. I just like totally like dropped everything.
Okay.
But I was getting to my second part of it. I'm all messy. I'm all messy.
Cameraman pulled her earplug out. This is the best.
Dignified.
You see what happens? This is what happens. all the
Dignified.
time. This is like you see behind
Dignified.
the scenes. It is madness. You know about the duck who's sitting on the top of the water looking very nice. The double is paddling like crazy. Yes, this is what happens here.
Okay, my next thing though that I have done is I have purchased an address book. And so that way you can put all of your names in alphabetically and then put the date in which they appear in the sessions.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. I thought that
Cameraman,
was
one of the things.
yes.
Keep track of the days on the
Yes.
Zyathé calendar. Yes, because even if it's the Tomb of Annihilation, it can appear in the world of Zyathé. Yes, anything can be in the world of Zyathé, right?
Yeah.
As much as your imagination wants.
Yeah, of course.
My thing was, Grant,
Yeah,
in
let's
the
hear
old
it.
days, because I did like modules. Now, I messed with them, right?
Yeah.
But I always wanted to support creators, right?
Yeah.
And so we'd get these marvelous modules, right? And then you'd adjust them and change them and move things around and add a different bad guy or maybe bring 2 other bad guys, all of this craziness, right? And so what you did was, all of a sudden you could have, if they went here, you had this module ready to kind of go. Or if they went here, you had this module kind of ready to go. So you didn't have to make up the whole world just all at once, but you could give them a few different tracks that they could take, yes?
So you're telling me I can bring Strahd into Zyathé?
Why not? I think Strahd would be magnificent. One of my favorite BBEGs of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
Grant, I think I've mentioned this. So listen, my friends, this was the magnificence of the Hickmans who wrote what was called Ravenloft when I was much younger.
Whoa.
You remember this? Do you know of this? I know you are much younger.
Lightly,
But
yeah.
you know of this.
Yeah.
This was the breakthrough. The breakthrough was the crazy concept that a BBEG, and in fact any monster, could move around all over the place and not just be a random encounter. Do you see what I'm saying? They could be anywhere. They could go any place, right? This would, because in the old days it was go down the hallway, kick down the door, fight the monster.
Yeah,
right? Go
it's
down the
just
hallway,
waiting in the room.
Yes.
Its only purpose is just to be there for you. Yeah.
Yes, this is exactly right. And so all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, monsters can move. They exist. And this began the whole transition to the thriving ecology of the dungeon, right? And this is why always now I'm about fantastically plausible, right? If something lives down there, it's got to eat something. What does it eat?
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Pretty
so,
cool.
Yeah, this is, and where does it go? It's got to go to the bathroom sometimes.
Somewhere.
It wants to go play cards with its buddies. Yeah, so this is all, this is what happens. All right, cameraman, what are you doing over there? Oh, you're sending up social media.
Oops.
Oh, this is magnificent. This is little Rin right there. Yeah, so Rin helped us last year. She was Alexander's assistant on the magnificent Dungeon of Du'Unix adventure that we put on all the time. And maybe more than Alexander. She might have helped others. Anyway, she has made her sign for this Genghis Khan, which I assume you're going to be at.
Oh,
yes,
of
Grant?
course.
Aha, yes, we are going to Genghis Khan. And there is Luke, our friend Luke is going to be there. I actually talked to Luke yesterday. It was a nice little chat. I'm seeing someone at the end of the month, but I'm not going to tell about that yet. This is I'm going to keep that a little secret for a little bit. Cameraman, I have some pictures planned, and I think Cameraman is going to play in a game that will be one of those things that you might remember for the rest of your life.
Oh, I did something here. Check this out.
What did you do?
I can now come back to myself.
Look at that, Cameraman.
I know.
Yes.
So-
By the
so-
way, nice little pigtails there, ponytails.
Oh,
What
thank
are they
you.
called? What are they called?
So now when we're in the middle of social media and you tell me something that I've never heard before, I can just like cut to myself and go,
And go like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or you can look snidely at me when I say something that is disturbing, right? So, Grant, do you watch this program very often? Or
Oh, yeah.
So is this pretty good? We do a good job?
I like it. I think
Nice.
it's pretty good.
Yes, very good, very good. Yes, I think it's kind of craziness, but people do seem to enjoy it. Anyway, okay. So anyway, that was Rin. That's Carrie's daughter, magnificent little girl, and loves D&D and loves the TTRPGs, and of course, Carrie is an incredible game master and a wonderful friend to Gooey Cube, and we are very excited to see so many friends at Genghis here coming up very soon. In fact, I'm hoping here towards the end of the month, as we get a little closer, we're gonna have Donnie and Andrea on.
oh, good.
Yeah, and have a little chat about that stuff, right?
But let's just
I know, we
give
got
us.
a boogie. We got a boogie.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna give a quick update on Genghis Khan. Table game registration is now open.
Oh yes, yes. Make
So-
sure if you're going, make sure you get registered. Especially, I think the Great Gooey Game Show might be close to being already sold out. So
We could probably fill some people in the back if we have
there'll
to.
be
Yeah.
Donnie already said he thinks it's going to be standing room only. So
Nice.
yeah, that was it's
gonna be a good time.
It's because we throw all those damn prizes. We buy people to come to because we did hundreds of prizes giveaway. You know, everybody walks out with something. You know, so
Oh, I'm sorry, Grant, you're not on camera right now, but people can still hear you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you lean this way.
Yeah. Okay, but really quickly, I just wanted to go over what's your 2023 D&D resolution?
My 2023 D&D resolution has just changed.
Oh, okay. Because of the OGL
I
stuff
will
that we were going to be
explain that
discussing.
later,
Okay,
yes.
then we will.
What about yours, Grant? What is your 2023 D&D resolution?
Yeah. I want to focus a little more on my NPCs. I feel like my NPCs, I kind of generate their personality every single time they talk. And I'd like to have more consistent personalities, so I'm working on that.
So you know what I do?
Yeah, let's
so
hear
this is yeah, come back to Grant real quick. 'Cause this is
I'm-
actually something that I've tipped before to people who are like, whoa, I didn't know that. So one of the reasons I use portraits, and I don't always use portraits, I must tell you this, because sometimes I have a fairly significant miniature collection. Okay?
Cool.
And so sometimes I literally pick out 40 miniatures. And every one of those I know is the various NPCs that are going to sort of be in this adventure.
Yeah.
So then I don't really need a portrait because I have them, but I still have my portrait notes. So what I do is I practiced voices, you know this, right?
Yeah.
But I also name my voices, and oftentimes they are associated with a personality. So one that just came up recently, which you might have seen in the Gooey Den, was Dr. Zud.
Okay.
So Dr. Zud is a floating skull, a lichy kind of individual, right?
With amazing hats.
With a hat, yes, with a disgusting hat, yes, and an eye patch and gold teeth, 2 gold teeth in the front. Anyway, Dr. Zud was embodied by an old character when I was a kid called Dr. Smith on Lost in Space. And so he talks like this, oh, the pain, right? But I don't need to recall him, because if I put down Dr. Smith, I know exactly who he is, what his personality is, and all that kind of stuff. And that is a really good trick for building personality without you having to just.
Yeah.
You following me?
Yeah.
So it's worth considering, right?
No,
so you
that's
could have
kind of my goal.
Beyonce in there, you know, all of you pop culture people, you know, Kim Kardashian.
Taylor Swift.
Yes, Taylor Swift. And she's kind of whiny, right?
Hey.
Wait a
I'm not
second.
saying she's not a magnificent artist. She's magnificent. She's just a little whiny at times, right? All right, what are we doing, cameraman? I
Okay.
really went down the bad, crazy track right there, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about
I know.
today.
Just really quickly, this is from Jim. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, everyone pointed out that it had a hat. It looks kind of like an evil Dr. Zud when he's like gotten huge.
Exactly. And I asked him, because the tagline was, when Camera Mandy is displeased, and I asked Kim, is this what it
Kim?
looks like?
Did you say Kim?
Well, we're meeting Kim today. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
we are
But I did say it to Kim, not to Alphinius. But I did ask, is this what it looks like?
And I said, way worse.
All right. This was a great idea from Daniel.
Yes.
These are removable tile decals that you can get at the dollar store. Great for cheap combat type
Yeah,
simulation.
really, really good, and worth taking a peek at. And I think they're dry erasable. There's some comments that came up in the den that were great.
Yeah. Next up, Harry, 2 amazing new mini STLs that he
So
just
I
did.
got confused a little bit because I thought it was someone else, but this is actually Ronnie and Randy Romes and their characters. And I tagged Jen and I tagged Gary first, but I was incorrect. So this, Harry keeps doing this. He keeps surprising us, and Randy and Ronnie were like, "Oh my goodness," So really wonderful. It's really, really good. Both Feyari, though you wouldn't know that about Ronnie's character, because Ronnie's character actually has their horns underneath their hair, so you don't see them. Yes, magnificent.
And then on top of that, Harry actually printed. I was actually curious to see how this would print because it's an intricate mini and it's really cool. And painted and did everything for the Spell Answer mini. So looks
It's
really
pretty
great.
good, huh, Grant?
Yes,
The base is awesome.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
it fantastic? Yeah, really.
totally different. Male Spell Dancer. I'm all about it.
Yeah, magnificent.
All right.
What's next, cameraman?
Martin posted a new ambient scenescape. Definitely go check it out. It's very like Toomey, I listened to it last night. It was really good. It's like
yes, Martin's D20
it
sounds
sounds-
are getting pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
he's got a nice little breadth now and lots of, I mean, it's good. Really, Martin is talented.
Yes.
Very, very talented.
indeed. Sorry, I'm just like
No, that's
boogieing
okay,
through
'cause
this.
we got to do this. 'cause
Yes,
we want to
okay.
get to Grant. We want to give Grant some good time, and then of
yes.
course this OGL thing, and then we got to giveaways, and then we're trying
Yeah,
to get
there's
to
a
the
lot of
book
stuff.
club. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're not gonna get book club today. I'll just tell you right now we're not doing book club. Okay,
Camera
Doug,
Mandy didn't read the chapter. She didn't do her homework. That's why she wants to get away from it, right? Camera Mandy, tell the truth. Did you read the chapter? Camera Mandy,
sorry, I had to switch to. Oh, I was trying to switch to myself. Oh, there it is.
did you read the chapter?
No. Okay.
You see this, Grant? Yes.
I was planning on doing it this morning with Grant. But then me and Grant started talking about freaking
Yes, Disneyland,
Disney,
World,
yeah.
the whole Disney thing. Yes, you, Jim Kenny, right?
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
and who else? Who else are the crazy?
It was
Disney?
Jacob. Jacob
Oh, Jacob. Yes, that's
Jacob
right.
Hatfield.
Jacob.
But
yes,
I know there's
Jacob.
other Disney fans. I mean, Mama Stacy gave me these amazing Disney license plate things. I don't know. So there's
Mama
a lot of people.
Stacy, you are marvelous.
There's a lot of people out there. Okay, sorry. Amazing bookcase.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Casey posted this because Casey thinks this is what the great Hall of Law, the Grand Library, the repository, right in Darkenhaven could look like. And this is the kind of stuff I love, Grant. Because it inspires your thought, right? And I might think about a library before I think about a library, right? And then I see this and I think, oh my God, that's way different than the library I was thinking about. And all of a sudden you're inspired and you're thinking this is amazing, right? And that's why I love the Den.
Agreed.
You like that? Do you like that library?
Oh, it's awesome.
You know damn well you ain't finding a single damn book in there if you look at the card catalog. Do they still use card catalogs or do they use like your phone now? Do they have apps?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, does anybody know if you go to the library now? Do you have to go to the card catalog? Do you have to go to some kind of electronic
Well, maybe.
catalog?
No, they
Or
have
can
it. They
you
have
walk
them in
around with an
computers.
app?
No, it's all you. They have computer. You go to the computer.
Oh,
And
but
look it
so
up.
You can't just do it on your smartphone. You can't just
Oh, I don't know.
and
Maybe you could.
Right? And it says go to room or X, bookcase 3.
I would think so. I would think there'd be some sort of app or
Yeah, it could be a little Google map thing. It says turn right at the next
destination on the left.
Okay, doke. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the episode.
meat of the
Yes.
episode.
Which-
Yes. Are we gonna? No, we are doing the giveaway, my friends. Now this is important. If you want to participate in our giveaways, you have to do this to help.
Oh, are we gonna do a
No, we
giveaway?
don't do it right now.
Okay.
We have to do it right because we have to give people their chances to win, right? But we have to. But here's the thing. You have
Here,
to.
I'll open the first one
That's
in just a
Grant
second.
right there. Say hello, Grant.
Hello, Grant.
Yes, very
Got him
good.
again.
Yeah, but I'm pumped. Yes. So listen. So you have to go to shop.gooeycube.prizes. Shop.gooeycube/prizes. Shop.gooeycube/prizes. Did I say that right, Camera Mandy?
Shop.gooeycube.prizes.
Slash
Or
prizes.
slash prizes.
Yes, shop.gooeycube/prizes. All right. Then there's a little form that you fill out, and this is so we can find you because we do all these giveaways. We don't have people's handles and all this kind of stuff. So, and really right now you want to do this because we have probably never given away such high amounts of value of things, except in the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter, we gave away a ludicrous amount of free stuffs.
I just
But-
opened the secret gift giveaway.
So
Hashtag secret
So if you put in
in
hashtag
Twitch.
secret in Twitch right now, hashtag secret, you will be entered to win potentially the amazing, magnificent secret gift. Look, Grant is doing a great job, right?
Yeah.
Grant, you can come on again because yours can't be like me. This is just full cheese ball. This is what this is, full cheese, right?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, cameraman.
Do you know what the secret gift is?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm just curious. Okay.
Yes, I do, and it's at least $100 in value, at least.
Okay. Nice.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Anyway, let us continue, cameraman.
Okay. Well,
What are we doing next? Or do you want me to go?
yeah, why don't we start talking about OGL and then we'll do
No, let's do Grant first.
You wanna do
Let's
Grant?
do Grant first. Let's get the happy stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Besides, if it goes crazy long and everybody's
boy.
freaking out and there's all kinds of things going on in the chat, and you're going to have to watch like crazy, right? You got to get that StreamYard thing up so that we can do the chats at the bottom so it makes your
Sorry,
life
I'm
easier.
trying to get I have to get something set up really quickly for it. So you just start talking about with Grant about what he's done and then I'll get the slides up and running.
All right. So Grant, we have known since the first Genghis Khan
Nope.
that we went to, right?
I actually found out something interesting.
It was PAX South.
It was PAX South.
It was.
You are
PAX
right.
South, yeah.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, that was one of the first cons we ever went to.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we met Grant at PAX South, and Grant has been Gooey ever since.
Oh yeah. Can't go back.
In fact, can you shower, please, a little more often? Because that's the only way you get rid of it.
I'm emanating the campaign right here, you know?
So Grant is a game master, yes?
Yeah.
And tell us about your game.
We're running the
Look right
Gooey
there.
Cube. Oh,
Look
yeah.
camera
Hello,
right there.
camera. Hello,
Look
stream.
right there.
So I've been running the Gooey Cube campaign. We started a little bit before COVID, and then as we all know, COVID kind of fell apart a little bit. But actually, yesterday was 1 year of returning, so we got to celebrate that. My players are right now in the middle of Chapter 3. Pretty exciting. Yeah, very exciting.
We know about Chapter 3.
We do know about Chapter 3.
Careful, there are players out there. Yes.
My players are in the stream right now.
Players in the stream. We're going to be showing you all pictures here pretty soon, yes?
But I love it. You know, it's been, I've run a couple other modules. You know, I've done, you know, I can't remember now. Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Oh, yeah.
Curse of Strahd.
Of course.
And I love Gooey Cube. As everybody here in the stream probably also agrees with, it just drew me in and hasn't let go.
Well, our goal, I've told you this, you know this because you know our story. I'm an old game master, and a lot of times I'd get a module, and even though I like the concept behind the module, it kind of read like an instruction manual.
Yeah.
And so one of the absolute goals that we have from the beginning is to entertain the game master. Even to the point where I get some complaints now and then. You see them, right? How come I don't know enough information, right? How come you aren't giving me this information, right? That kind of stuff.
I've told you how much I hate the phrase, that is a tale still in the telling. I mean, it pulls me in. It's awesome, but I want to know now.
I know. But a great story doesn't tell you the whole tale. But I think generally, now sometimes we make a mistake, and I know this is true. Sometimes we don't give enough, right? But generally, I think we give enough to run the tale and not screw you up. Generally.
I've been happy with it.
Yeah, generally. Now, sometimes, you know, but that's okay. If you ended up going down a weird track and all of a sudden it got goofed up the next, just fix it, right? That's the marvelousness of game mastering, right? Well, I got this, you know, I'm just going to change it around this way, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but okay. None of the entries worked for... Sorry, thank you everyone in the chat for telling me that we're having some giveaway issues.
So Camera Mendy has another technical difficulty.
Also, the Law 86.
Camera Mendy, cut to you real quick and looking perplexed. Yes.
Oh, I can't do that right now. Hold on, I'm in the middle of something. But yeah, the Law 86 mentioned that they won last week but haven't heard anything. The beauty of the prizes form is that you don't hear anything because we just send it to you. So
that's true, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you just should get it right out of the mail, right?
Yes.
So, and because last week was the holiday week.
But let me check. Yeah, I will check with Mel and make sure that everything is okay with that. But generally speaking,
you should usually see it within about 2 weeks.
Yes, except for if we have to print something. Like for instance, we still need to print the Zion Dune print.
Oh, yes.
You still need to send me the high res.
Yeah, yes, I got to do that. But this is one thing we should tell Mel. If we are delayed, we should send people an email.
Yes, indeed.
If we're delayed. If we're not delayed, I don't think we need to do that. But if we're delayed, we should send
But I
people.
know the law that we definitely are getting you taken care of. And I gave your name and all the information over to Mel.
Yes, and never be afraid to send us an
email,
email, right?
Exactly.
To adventures@gooeycube.com. If you didn't get something, we have one person who came about that we had no idea. We'd left them in the dust for almost more than a year. It was really, they're getting something extra, you know.
Yes.
We're giving a little bonus, right? And we're just sending it to them. Well, you know, I think they were a little frustrated with us, with good cause, honestly, with good cause.
Oh, and by the way, it doesn't actually matter that the MooBot thing isn't working now that I think about it, because we're just going to manually enter in your entry. So nobody needs to re-enter anything.
Okay. So MooBot is not mooing, but it is okay because the way that this works,
we're keeping them in a spreadsheet.
Yes, we're keeping them all in a spreadsheet because you get multiple chances to win, right? This is how it's working. So you enter last week, you get a chance. Enter this week, you get a chance. There will be a chance in the Gooey Den. There will be a chance in the Gooey Discord. But people who come here and enter get extra entries. So you up your chances.
Wow.
Yes.
Am I getting an entry today?
Well, why not?
What? Are you in the chat entering hashtag special? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm writing it down.
Oh, would you look at that
You
guy?
have an entry. Awesome, Grant. Okay.
Okay, Grant.
All right.
So
Yes,
here we
hello.
are. So tell us about, and by the way, even though it looks squishy on the screen, Camera Mendy doesn't know how to fix this.
It's okay.
You know, it's not really squishy for the people at home, right? It's just squishy for us, right? So you really look very thin here.
I already covered
Great.
this.
Let's keep it like that.
Yeah, me too. Camera Mendy, keep squishing.
Yeah, so about a year ago, I was trying to come up with a gift for my players. I mean, I've played with these guys for many years now, and I know me and you have talked about. Kim's always been telling me. Sorry, this Kim guy. I don't know.
Alphinius.
Yeah, Alphinius. Alphinius has always been telling me that I need a portrait, but I was thinking, well, I think all of my players need portraits, and what a cool gift to surprise them all with a portrait. But that was the hard thing. How do I surprise my players with a portrait that is something that they would truly love, but also without telling them? So some of you guys may know, my wife actually works in 3D animation. Mm-hmm. So we said, hey.
Maya is wonderful. She helped us with some proofreading. Thank you, Maya. Well, thank you.
Yes. And we kind of just said, hey, she's working on a new project. We just need to have some references for her to go off of. Can we get everybody to sit down? We'll just take a couple pictures and then just describe a fantasy character, like your favorite fantasy character. Give us some details. And Maya did a great, she was the one that got all the details out. You know, that rat that's on my shoulder, that staff, that wasn't me. That was Maya sitting down pulling teeth on all of us of, no, give me something to work with. What is your favorite animal? And so, of course, we had these awesome player descriptions created. We had reference photos, and then...
And all done in a conspiratorial fashion.
And instead of taking it to school or whatnot, we sent it straight over to Gooey Cube.
Yes, and Grant and I went back and forth with the artist, and we did sketches, and Maya looked at them because she's got a little bit of artistic sensibility herself, yes, right?
Oh,
yes, very nice, yes. And we talked about things, and so tell us, who is this?
Well, so yeah, this is AM MST. I don't play D&D that much. I love DMing. But anytime that I do play, I kind of reprise the same character, who is Aramastar. And now I have artwork for him, which is so cool. Basically, for my first ever D&D campaign, I obtained that book, and I keep it with me all the time. And then, of course, I have a little companion on my shoulder, which all of my players believe is the best part about this portrait, and I agree.
Well, it's fantastic because also, you know, lots of people have really fantastic familiars. You know, this is a rat,
sure,
right? It's kind of cool, right? But tell us about this right arm too, right? Because there's a little bit going on there.
There's a lot going on there. But you know, Alphinius, I think that right arm might be a tail still in the teller.
Oh, very good. Yeah, so I liked it. I was like, oh, that's cool, right? Because there's something going on there. All right, well, that's magnificent. All right, so then you took these portraits, who are now going to be in the world of Zyathé, as long as they sign their talent releases, right? So they're going to sign their talent releases.
I need to get you guys their info.
I'm going to start doing a slideshow of your character.
Yeah, let's go
I
for
want
it.
to talk through each one of them. We're going to just do them quickly, and we're going to name each one of them. But you presented to them, and you said there was even tears.
It was amazing. It was truly amazing. It was actually kind of funny, and we can start showing them, and maybe we can talk about them.
So who's this, real quick?
So I mean, this is my player Andrew. In our campaign, he resides as Glenn.
Yes.
Last names are going to evade me at the moment. Very cool character. I mean, what we were looking at is the smoke that comes from the eyes. I mean, he was really trying, and those veins.
The veins, yes. There's a little bit of corruption going on here, I think, or something. Yes, it's kind of scary. Yeah. Yes, it's magnificent. Anyway, so and then who's this?
This is probably my favorite out of all of them. This is my player Daniel. In our campaign, he plays as Theros. When he was first describing his character, he was almost describing it exactly like Theros, which was pretty cool. We're like, hey, just make it anything you want. And so this stone embodiment with the growth and natural growth growing on him.
Oh, wait. No, your audio is back. Sorry, they were saying that your audio might have gotten turned off, Grant.
Oh, hello.
I don't know how, but I think it's back on.
Technical difficulties, cameraman.
My mic sounds nice. Test one. All right.
Share your mic with Grant.
Can people hear now?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, keep going.
I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Daniel, again, with the stone skin, with the natural growth going on it. Honestly, this is my favorite. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Yeah, keep going, cameraman.
Yes. So this is Danny in my campaign.
Hello.
The first
he
thing,
could double as a Chippendale.
So the very first thing, we put it on, and I showed it to him. He's like, I need to start doing push-ups immediately.
You know, in Zyathé, they could be Goopendales.
Oh, yeah?
Instead of Chippendales, it could be
there we go.
Yes. Goopendales, yes.
He resides as Crendon in my campaign. Of course, a very different,
Yes. But that's what the game is,
exactly.
Right? It's the flexibility and the letting them be them, right? That's the thing. Yeah.
Well, and I guess I'm just saying the name of the characters because I know a lot of you guys are familiar with these characters and you can relate to them. Of course, this is not Crendon. Yes. This is his take, and it's amazing. Look at that background.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really good.
This is one of my favorite portraits I've actually seen come through.
Yeah, she's magnificent.
So this is Lanan. She plays as Kenna in my campaign. One of my favorite things is Lanan. She has chickens in real life. They're her favorite.
I'm feeling like we have a couple people in the Gooey Cube because we also have
everybody out
Stormer, David Stormer.
Oh, David Stormer is a chicken guy.
Yes.
Yeah. The thing is, right now, if you live in Colorado, you're really happy if you have chickens because of the egg shortage.
Oh,
the egg shortage?
I just heard about it.
Yes, the egg shortage. You can't get eggs.
Please save some eggs for us.
Lanan, save eggs for me. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is just amazing. The crown, the chicken. I mean, it's. Yeah.
Well, the thing for me, Grant, is that, you know, we're over 300, I think, maybe even close and getting on our way to 400.
Wow.
Of character portraits that people have put in the world of Zyathé, and they're all our friends and fans.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to appear in the lore books. They're going to continue to appear in the adventures. Of course, a ton of them, right? All of y'all people, and like Ben did a similar thing with his players, Ben Simon, and magnificent, right? In fact, we should do that, cameraman. You know, before the end of the thing, we'll grab Ben's portraits, and Ben wants to.
We don't have time to do Ben's portraits. We have to get to the OGL.
Today.
We will. Okay, yes. Next time we will do Ben's portraits.
Oh, there is Maya.
Yes.
Yes. Another beautiful image. Yes.
My co-conspirator in all of this, she plays as Shailene in our campaign, and that is a albino. Oh my gosh, raven or crow? I think it's a raven.
Yes,
Raven. Thank you. So cool, and that scar that goes up her neck.
Yeah,
too.
she's and she got the little thing on her lip, you know, and beautiful eyes, right? There's just those eyes that go with the hair, you know. It's just really. I mean, this artist was Benjo who did all of these, and he did just a great job.
Also, we can do hashtag portrait starting now for portrait giveaway.
All right, my friends, hashtag portrait.
This
and
is for
will
entries.
Enter you.
Yep.
An additional time into the portrait giveaways. Now remember, if you've already got a portrait, you'll still have a chance to win and you'll still get extra entries, but you'll only be entered to win one of them. The one that Jim and the one that is Randy are giving away of their own volition. And thank you guys so much. It is magnificent.
Also, we had a question in the chat that's very important. They asked, do I need to redo my form if something has changed on it? And the answer is yes. That is the only time you need to re-enter your form, is if your address has
in particular,
yes.
Right? Because otherwise we send stuff to you and we don't know. In fact, that may be another reason we need to send people emails just in case, cameraman. So we don't have.
Yeah, I mean, it's important for us to have your address, especially like Kickstarter orders, updates, and all sorts of things.
Now the portrait thing, when you win the portrait, you know, Grant knows this. There's a lot of back and forth between me and you, and then I go work with the artist. I've been an art director for much of my life, so I'm not afraid to engage this. And usually I do a pretty good job. Usually I make some mistakes, but usually I do a pretty good job. Look at this one. This is,
Megan.
Yeah, Megan is magnificent.
Megan plays Cider. It's actually, we do a gender swap Cider in my campaign, which is awesome. And I mean, just so cool. Again, the scar on the face. I love her sword that she's kind of grabbing onto.
Yes.
The tatter on her clothing.
Yeah, it's really. It's got, see those little touches, right? Those little things really make a character sort of unique and special, you know. And it's just, I can't wait to see how we're going to lay them all together when we, what our tale we're going to tell in the Gloom-Port or Darkenhaven. You know,
yes,
gotta figure that out.
So that was it. Do I have more?
Yes.
Okay, I got one more. Of course I have one more. Nathan. Oh, look at that hair.
Might be my favorite, right? Because the hair, right? The hair and look at the face. He's just looking at you. He's like, don't mess with me, sucker.
Yes.
I'm ready to cast Fireball at any moment.
Currently playing as Carlos in our campaign. And oh my gosh. And again, look at that background.
Yeah, it's magnificent.
I mean, it just draws you in, and that hair is just the best part.
Yeah.
Is this my last one?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like, look at how many we did. And I just wanted to say, so we had it. We went back and forth. Kim did an amazing job. It was so great working with you guys on getting the details out. And then they finally came to that night where I told my players, you know, I want to give you a taste of what's to come. I don't really know much, but, you know, out in the future, there's a place. It's Darkenhaven. It's, you know, that underground city. And we don't really know much about it. You know, we know there's some debauchery, a little bit of like thievery afoot and whatnot. But I do know some players, some people that might reside in this area. And I only have their portraits. And I just started putting the portraits down one by one. And my players at first, they were, you know, ooh. We had all the portraits down. And Lanan, the one with the chicken, she looks at it and squints her eyes and goes, that one looks a little bit Asian. Gooey Cube, they're getting some representation in. And Maya goes, guys, look, it's you. And they all look and immediately are just,
Yeah.
oh my God, I
Yeah,
can't
right.
yell. I need to be careful. Oh my God. And dude, two of them just started crying immediately. They're grabbing on Lenon's like, how did I not recognize and we've had 4 sessions since then. She has it right there on her notebook. And she's just like, this is the best thing. And that's for all of them. I mean, that's what I heard. It's the best gift they've ever received.
Aww.
Every one of them.
I didn't pay him to say this, nor tell him to say this.
I
None
know.
of this.
I know, and I mean, I know, it's a little pricey.
It is.
It is, but
we pay our artists well.
Yeah, of course.
We don't go out and sell it. We'll try to get an artist to work for $20, and and I just can't do that. This is all controversy over AI art, right?
Yeah,
Humans, right? And I want people to make a living wage and be able to feed their families, and so I can't do it.
It was
I won't do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it was kind of getting me from pulling the trigger at first. It's like, wow, that's a decent amount of money. It's worth every penny.
Aww.
This is by far the best gift, and I think it's probably the best gift I will give.
No.
I mean, and yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much. My players love it, and that's the other final piece that we talked about is they're going to be in the book. They will encounter themselves.
Aww.
Other players from around the world will meet them. And I mean, how cool is that?
That's what I said. I had this crazy idea, right?
Yeah.
And it began a long time ago. You might even remember me first talking about it a long time ago, because we began with a few portraits of our Goo crew. That was sort of how it began. And then I can't remember, but I said, I wonder if people would be interested in that. And all of a sudden, one, and then another, and then another, and then some people did some writing for us and said, you know what, I don't want to be paid. I don't want any money. I want you to do a portrait instead. That's why I want to be in the world, right?
Wow.
And this is how it just snowballed. And like I said, 300 something now characters, and I only see it continuing. Zyathé is a world of our fans. It is a true world of our friends and our fans, and it is that is why I'm not afraid.
And that's, the best part. If you're thinking about, and they didn't pay me for this, I'm just saying it. But if you're thinking about getting a portrait, one thing I'll say is they do their best to make it whatever you want. And that's every detail you guys considered and put in there. I was able to bring AM MST to life in a way that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So yeah, thank you guys. That's my party. I hope you guys enjoy them. I know my party loves them.
So we'll have to chat about Dark and Haven and the Gloom Part. We got a little chat we got to do. Same as I got to do with Ben, because Ben has got a little group too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to sort of bring a couple of adventuring parties rather than just individual NPCs, right? Parties with a relationship and all that kind of stuff. Because again, that adds to the whole ambience. All right, we got to go, right?
Yes,
So will you stay?
I'm
stay and listen.
Yeah.
Alphinius, sorry, since we're doing commercial, our portraits are currently discounted.
Oh yes, that's right. You can fairly significantly, my friends.
I think it's like
absolutely.
$25 off.
$25 off.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I do want to say this to you. If you purchase a portrait now and you're trying to support us and help our artists and all that kind of stuff, we'll leave you in the other two with Jim and with Randy's. I don't think either one of them would mind. And then you could, if you do that, that way you aren't sitting back going, oh, maybe I can't take advantage of the discount because I'm waiting to win, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to do that, I think we could do that. I'll make sure with Jim and Randy. I don't want to speak for them, but at least you'll still have the chance to win the one no matter what, right? So let me just check on that. So now listen, I want to do something here. So how much time we got left, cameraman?
You have 20 minutes.
All right. So my real name in real life is Kim. And I don't have a British accent. Most people who know me well know that is true. And in real life, I'm a marketing guy, an advertising person. And I've been doing that since 1985 when I graduated from San Francisco State University. And in San Francisco was where I was introduced, the Bay Area was where I was introduced to Dungeons and Dragons and this magnificent role-playing thing when I was in early high school. And it has been, you don't need to,
I got a cough.
Oh, I know. I was doing that earlier and it was embarrassing. So
listen, this is the way it works for me, Brent. You see this right here? This is my dabbing. Right? So cough away.
Just cover your. Oh, here, let me turn off your mic. There you go. Okay.
Goodness grant, you have to just let it low, just let it fly. I mean, gosh, it's getting on my ear.
All right.
Sorry, Al.
Anyways,
We couldn't keep it too serious for too long. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So anyway, so there are interesting things going on with this OGL, and I put up a few things. Been a wonderful dialogue, and I really want to say to all of you out there, and if I digress back to Alphinius, it's almost impossible.
He gets in a loop.
I'm driving with Ms. Goo, right, Diane, and we're talking about dinner, right?
But you're doing it right now.
Hitting me and saying you're in the loop because I'm talking to her like Alphinius. Anyway, so
take it back to Kim.
I'm pretty good at this thing. My dear Diane and I, along with 2 other people, started a little advertising agency in a garage. And 11 years later, it was about 150, 160 employees. We were a pretty big deal in the San Francisco Bay Area. We launched Salesforce, the company. We launched the most expensive toothbrush in the world with Oral-B. We launched the Stagecoach funds with a couple other agencies, huge deal for Wells Fargo, Oracle, Jelly Belly, PeopleSoft, on Clorox, on and on. So I got a little knowledge about this kind of thing. And I think what's going on with the people who run Hasbro is not truly a malicious thing. So I want to say that from the beginning. It is not malicious. It is perhaps a little greedy, which I don't think you can't not expect from companies that are publicly traded, because pretty much everything's about their stock price, their share price, okay? The price of their stock. But there are also decisions that corporations often make that people look back upon and say later, that was the dumbest thing they could have possibly done, and CEOs get fired and all, you know what I'm talking about, Grant? Okay. So the thing that I think they are trying to address is they want to make Dungeons and Dragons very much an online experiential game that has microtransactions and all kinds of stuff to really grow their revenue stream, and frankly, probably provide a very cool product for lots of people who want to engage in that kind of an environment. I'm a tabletop guy. I will always be a tabletop guy. I love the experience of sitting with my friends and having dinner and, laughing and having a cigar outside and role playing for an hour and, all this kind of stuff that you just can't do in a virtual world. But when you think about what is possibly coming over the next 10 to 20 years with like Facebook, with the metaverse and right, all this kind of thing that people are talking about, where you're putting on these goggles, and if people saw Ready Player One, right? Ready Player One is a movie that was out there. If you think about all these things that are coming, this is, I think, what the executives are thinking about at Hasbro. And that could be an incredibly big, amazing thing if they have this incredible virtual world online, and how it morphs from Dungeons and Dragons as a tabletop experience and a little bit of a virtual experience to this really avatar-esque kind of thing going on right over the next decade, which I think is very possible, right? WoW drove a lot of people away from playing Dungeons and Dragons. It did. Huge numbers of people played for quite a number of years, played WoW, and then people began to migrate back to the humanity of the tabletop, even the humanity of the tabletop being able to see your friends virtually, right, in an online experience. So, all right, so that's the stage that everybody needs to understand, is sort of what's going on and why. At least in my, I'm Alphinius right now, aren't I? Anyway, at least in my conjecture, because they really have put out no significant statements, which is not good, honestly. If I were advising them, I would say this is a mistake. I believe what they're trying to really protect is the online aspect. They don't want people to be able to use the Dungeons and Dragons system, the Dungeons and Dragons materials, the things that they can actually protect. And there's a lot of things they can't protect, by the way. They're trying to protect those things in that online world because of what I think they see the potential for the brand of Dungeons and Dragons being in the future. Unfortunately, that has fallout, and it's bad fallout. It's bad fallout on lots of little creators who they just don't have the money wherewithal to be able to change their materials. Frankly, the most egregious thing that I find about the whole thing is not that you want to make people have to pay you a royalty. I don't think that's egregious. I think that is not an unreasonable thing, honestly. What's egregious is telling people that if you use our stuff, we get your stuff for nothing, all your stuff. They could literally take this book, as far as I understand it. Now remember, this is all rumor, my friends. It's all rumor. It's all conjecture. They could literally take this book right here, put a Wizards of the Coast Hasbro logo on it, resell it exactly as it is, and not give a dime to Gooey Cube at all. That is not cool. And now, am I saying they're going to do that? No. That is the thing that people like me and anybody who's creating stuff, and especially a world that I want to protect for our friends and fans, right, has to look at and say, this isn't going to work. And so I do want everyone to know we are looking at options. We're looking at different ideas. I'm talking to a few people. I'm not super connected in the industry, but I've made some friends. And you know, I think that I can speak from some level of authority just because of my background and my career. So first of all, I want, for those of you who love us, and I know there's a lot of you out there who do it, I don't want you to worry about us. We're going to be fine. I think that there's a lot of room to move within this, no matter what they do. I think it's very clear legally what I think we can do and be able to still maintain the integrity of our wonderful world that many of you helped create, and be able to have the ability to still have folks be able to use various game systems to be able to play in our world. So I don't want you to worry about us, but I do want you to worry about a lot of little creators out there who don't have day jobs that are advertising agencies, who, you know, don't have a little money in the bank, right? They literally are making stuff, and it's part of their income stream to feed their family and pay their rent and all that kind of stuff. And that I don't like. And I know they're trying to manage the public relations fallout of it by saying, if you make less than this, you don't owe us a royalty. Again, the royalty I don't think is unreasonable. What's unreasonable is we own your stuff. That is a big, big problem. And it's not fair to creators, artists, writers. It's not fair to any of those people that language would exist within their OGL. Now, I also understand why they do it, all right? Now, the other thing that's to be scared about this potential OGL is that it's revocable at any time with 30 days notice. All right. So that's the thing that's going on here in the future. Cameraman, do we got any questions from the chat or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk in the chat. One of the questions I saw, or
and
one
if
of the
you have
comments.
some questions right now, you don't mind, post them back up real quick, so that way cameraman is that. Because I know the chat is probably dancing right now.
Well, one of the suggestions I saw was that they might have intentionally leaked this draft of it to get initial reactions to.
Yes.
You know, and so it might be that they're trying to set their expectations, like, so that way we're thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible. And then when they release something that's still not like that palatable, we're not like, well, at least it's not this awful one.
So this is important for you to know that big companies do not think like human beings who are little people, right? Like us, okay? Litigation and the courts are tools in their tool bag to be able to manipulate and push and all that kind of stuff. And public relations is definitely part of the whole strategy. And Hasbro has all of those wonderful, smart, capable people working for them, right? They do, right? And this could definitely be a little bit of a red herring to exactly do that. I saw that, by the way, all y'all, I'd love to name y'all, but there's been so many wonderful posts, great posts, good information, all kinds of stuff in the Gooey Den. And I'm astounded at how many smart and really thoughtful people we have. Yeah. I mean, this community blows my mind all the time. I mean, it just is just, I sit back and I go, goodness gracious. And frankly, all the dialogue and the discourse, even people who were disagreeing on certain things, it wasn't mean. There was no, it was great. I mean, it was just, y'all are fantastic. And I really appreciated the folks sharing with us the various links and various things that are on there. I actually captured a few of them this morning that we might share in a minute. But that is absolutely a very plausible possibility that they're sort of trying to set a bad expectation and then pull back with the hope that the lesser solution doesn't have quite the blowback that it will. I don't see how it is possible for them to continue on a path where they literally revoke the 22-year, this is the next thing I wanted to get into. So now there's the question of, can they revoke 5.0 and previous, the OGL.
Can I ask one of the questions?
Yes, I apologize.
Oh,
Let's
it's
do that.
okay.
Yeah, go through
Yeah.
this.
So one of the questions was, under the current OGL, would they not be able to have access to your
They do not.
your materials?
The current OGL does not in any way, shape, or form give them that kind of permission. And we would never have gone with the current OGL had that been the case. So all of the creators who've been operating under that for 22 years. Now I want you to remember, that thing was made by Peter Atkinson. Peter Atkinson is a great person who loves the game, who was the innovator of Magic along with a number of other folks. And it was actually brilliant. The OGL was brilliant. And I want to tell you why. I'm a marketing guy. Now think about this for a minute. If the 80-20 rule in business exists, and the 80-20 rule is that 20% of your people, your customer base, give you 80% of your revenue, all right? This is all the game masters out there. This is all people like Grant and me who, spend all this money on our player, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, I also have a few game masters at my table, so they also, they're pretty contributory, but through the years, but it's what we do, right?
Yep.
This is our love. This is our expression of love to our friends who are with us, right?
Yeah.
This is
No,
what
of
we do.
course.
So if that 80-20 rule is kind of true in the world of this D&D thing, what they did with the OGL was to basically create a massive affinitization program where all manner of people who are the most fervent about this adventuring thing that they do, this Dungeons and Dragons thing that they do, love them because they get to contribute to it and actually have economic interests in some cases where they can actually make money from it, okay? Now think about the psychology of that and what game you're going to tend to play. What game are you going to tend to play? The one that's given you all this opportunity and all of this stuff, and it's always been a good game. It's probably not the greatest system, but it's always been a good game. And of course,
Sure.
5e made everything much more approachable,
Yeah.
right? That was the idea. I believe in my heart of hearts the value of what they did with the OGL and the affinity that it brought to the brand is in the billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And the risk that they face with making this move is to flush all of that down the drain and indeed cause many to pivot to different systems, different strategies. It is a very important thing to remember in the world of marketing and business and all of that stuff. You make your competitors many, many times through decisions and unintended consequences. Gooey Cube is not going away, my friends. Gooey Cube will need to do something different. And guess what? Gooey Cube is not alone. And there are lots of influencers and people out there their livelihoods depend upon this. There are lots of people out there who love what they're doing. They love the worlds they've created. They love the systems that they've made. They love the characters that they've brought to the table, right? What are they going to do? Give all their stuff away for free? No. They're going to make other decisions. And those other decisions will have consequences on the decision that originally caused those decisions to be made, if you follow what I'm saying. There. Now, normally I charge, a few $100s an hour for this kind of crap, but for you all, it's free. Yes, it's magnificent.
Wow.
So that is Kim. Yes, that is Kim. You like that? Was that good? Let's answer some. I'll go back to
do
Kim.
some chat?
Let's answer some questions.
Okay. So Harry had pointed out that Ryan Dancy was part of creating the original OGL,
Yes.
and then Gaming Trend, who was our great friend.
Yeah, Mike Dunn.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
He posted a great quote in here where Dancy has made a statement, Ryan Dancy has made a statement saying that he's like all over the place saying that this was never intended to be revoked by
Absolutely.
anyone. And so again, the intention of this was to give us protection as a company to create it, even though there are legal things.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
my belief, again, I know a little bit about business law. I'm not a lawyer, y'all,
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form. They didn't put the word irrevocable in the license, okay? This gives, and again, I want you to understand something. For big companies, the legal system, it's not necessarily can we prevail. They don't always necessarily think can we prevail. Remember, if it's all tied up in the courts for 5 years, And everybody who tries to publish under the old, old OGL starts getting cease and desists that says, if you continue, we're going to sue you, right? If you continue, you're actually blah, blah, blah. And if there are damages that come our way from the court case that's going to be decided in 5 years, right? We're coming after you for damages. Who in their right mind is going to really walk that road if that is sort of the case? So this is what I'm saying. So they might have their lawyers sitting in there going, here's the problem. This thing's been in place for 22 years. There are huge numbers of people who have invested billions, it's got to be billions of dollars into systems and supplements and materials and all of this kind of stuff. And the company in its past has made many representations outside of the OGL that it's never going to be revoked. Those exist. Those are out there in the world. Harry, you are spot on. It's not just that one. It's not just this more recent statements. These are statements that they made a long time ago. Those representations and warranties come into play. For all you know, the Hasbro lawyers are saying you're going to lose. And they're like, that's okay. We'll just tie it up for the next 5 years. See, this is what we don't think of it that way. We don't think it's a win or lose game. We think it's a win or lose game. They think all we need to do is delay long enough that everybody sort of abandons the whole thing and run away, and then we by de facto we get it. You see what I'm saying? So again, I don't know what is in the mind of the Hasbro folks. I actually hope that they really have better intentions, and I think that is quite possible why they dropped this red herring. It's to kind of see, because they're seeing it right now. I mean, I've had people message me and say, we're sending emails to Hasbro out of the blue. I've had so many people, and thank you, so many of you who have messaged me or written that no matter what you do, we're with you. And I can't tell you what that means. The strength of Gooey Cube is our friends and fans. Yes, it's a beautiful world, which you helped create. Yes, it is a magnificent, fun, experiential thing, and I think the lore is fantastic, and I think the campaigns and adventures, we really put a lot of thought in to try to make them wonderful. But in the end, it's our friends, and I have a lot of faith in that strength, Grant, a lot, and so for us, we'll figure out a pivot if we have to, and I don't want you to worry about that. It might even be a very cool pivot, because I'm talking to some folks, and I know other people are talking to people, and there's a lot of people out there who are not little tiny creators who are like, you know what? The world needs an OGL that's never going to be revoked. That's what the world needs. Right? And honestly, I'm a little frustrated for those of you from game stores who are watching this, and I know we have a few folks that do. I'm pretty disappointed in the last few years about how our community game stores have been treated by Hasbro.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally buy the core rule books on Amazon for less than the community game stores can buy the books.
Right.
How do they make money? It's not fair. Yeah. It's not right. And somebody's behind that. I don't think it's counterfeiting. I think it's just how it works. Anyway, hopefully all of the pushback, because that is the only way it works. They are like politicians, my friends, right? They operate from a position of fear all the time, right? So the fear is, my God, we make this decision and we destroy this incredible brand, right? So
sorry, I'm gonna just go through.
Good.
I'm gonna just show some resources. These are, I believe, all posted in the Gooey Den.
Yes, so this is Ted from Nerd Immersion. He actually was the first one sort of talking about this along with a few others. Yeah. And because he's got a lot of followers. There's others, by the way. Please don't think I'm just endorsing Ted. He's fantastic, but there are many wonderful ones out there. Emmanuel is magnificent, and with Nerdarchy and anyway, and then this was sort of the thing that kind of blew it up. This is the rules lawyer, and this is a great little video that a lot of people watched, and this sort of really lit the fire, right? It was already kindling, right? It was already sort of smoldering, but this is the one that really kind of, I think, blew it all up, and this is what has driven so much stuff. And then here's exactly what Harry noted, which was Ryan Dancy, and the quote. This is from Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG news, which is fantastic. Along with our marvelous Mike Dunn And there's so many good resources out there if you want to read about this. And then this was sort of the opposite opinion, right? Because there's all these people out there saying they can't revoke the OGL. My friends, they can absolutely revoke the OGL. The decision you have to make as a creator is, are you willing to take the chance that their revocation of it is not lawful? That is the issue, right? And to adapt to the new one, right? To adapt to the new one, if it continues on the path that we believe it's going to continue, that's where you take the risk of giving up your content.
Yep.
Which includes all of your players
I know.
in the world of Zyathé.
I was thinking about that.
Think about that.
It's okay. They're safe. They're safe.
They are safe.
Oh, it's good.
Absolutely safe.
I have a question. So let's say this does come to pass. Do they have they have 30? We have 30 days basically if they decide to do this to remove our stuff from the 5th edition.
I don't know that
Okay.
we have to do that immediately. There's a lot of people who would say it is unreasonable for people to throw away all their inventory because you revoked something.
Yeah, and as the person who handles our inventory, that is like my biggest fear. So
Yes.
Okay.
Mindy, I don't want to talk about it right now.
I feel you.
But I promise you.
We'll be fine. Okay.
I promise you. And the thing is, I think there's a thing I'm thinking about that I'm not sure very many people have thought about, because I'm a marketing guy, right? This is what I do. This was really funny, Jen. But this is the problem, was the question of whether or not the 5e OGL is actually going to be a problem too, right? So that's what that previous article said, right? Was that thing. So anyway, questions, cameraman? Are you keeping your eye
No,
on it?
I mean, there's a lot of really good conversation happening in the chat. So if you're interested in this topic and watching this after the fact, I really recommend that you watch it on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is good. This she was great. So you can see this. This is Dungeon and Discourse, right? And she was fantastic. This was a great video to watch. And by the way, I didn't find virtually any of these. These were all from our friends and fans.
Yeah.
This was Nick posted this. This is that letter that was supposedly sent. Now again, there's things about this. The person who I believe is the attorney who sent this letter is not really a intellectual property lawyer, right? Again, the big guns have not been brought out, right? The big guns are not here, and there are companies that are huge, not huge like Hasbro, but are huge, right? That have significant interest in this OGL thing. So, it kind of remains to be seen, right? I mean, Paizo has had the OGL published in all of their stuff for a long, long time, right? So they're not alone. There are many, many others, but. I personally, she was great too. Yeah, this is, she said the OGL and me, because she spoke from the position of a creator. So this is a fun little video to watch and good information as well. And of course, we are fun to watch because we are very smart.
This is the last slide. Yeah.
This one, so cameraman, I can't quite read that, but could you just do, it was actually a tweet that came out from Chris and Chris, right? So just read kind of the first couple lines, if you can see it on your screen.
In response to Wizards of the Coast's apparent new incredibly destructive stance on the open game license, including attempts to retroactively destroy or legally jeopardize work done under previous editions of the OGL, Sea of Cinders will not be moving forward as a 5e D&D or any derivative project.
There you go. Shots fired, shots returned. See, this is the beginning, right? There's an old story when you read history about revolutions, right? When the people have finally gotten so abused, right, that they revolt, and really bad things happen, right? I just want to say this: bad is relative, right? Because the bad things that happen typically are the people who've been doing the abusing, right? So maybe it's not so bad, right? When you think about sort of revolutions through the years, right? It's kind of bad for the people who got their heads cut off in the French Revolution, as an example. But all it takes, one spark, a little spark, and all of a sudden the fire is ignited. And that, my friends, is why I want you to not worry for us. And I want you to know that alternatives will come. New things will happen. The problem is, it's all the collateral damage. It's the little creators who make $1,000 a month, right? That helps pay their rent, right? They aren't getting rich off TTRPGs. They aren't making the next million seller game, but they have a nice little business, that helps them feed their families. That is bullcrap. I didn't say it, cameraman.
It's fine. I'll say it. It's bull.
Yes,
I'll
it is.
say
Oh,
it.
look, she said it off camera.
Look,
Yes, let's cut your face and
Oh
say
my
it.
gosh.
I want to see you say it with your face.
Oh
right
my
into the
God.
Right into the camera. Yes, let's say it.
It's bull.
Ah.
Listen, at the end of the day, we don't know for sure what all is going to happen. We don't know what's going to come down the pipeline. I do think it's smart to be thinking about it, to have a plan in place should it happen. But absolutely, more than anything, this company is about helping people, and that includes artists, and that includes other creators. We are a collaborative community. I don't want to see all of the work that people have put into our work be taken over by someone else. Like, just to be quite frank, like we have, and we'll do our best to protect everything. Like, that's what I know for sure. So
yeah, I'm old and I've done okay in my life. I'm certainly not ludicrous rich or anything like that. But Ms. Goo and I are going to be fine. We got a little save for retirement, and we got some other things we're doing, and our little agency is doing just fine. But I do worry about folks that this really matters to.
Yeah.
A lot of them, a lot, and that is what makes an old guy like me kind of mad, Grant, kind of angry. So,
great. You've been an excellent guest, by the way.
Yeah.
It was great having you behind him, like supporting the.
Yes, I saw it in the camera. He was like, We shall bring the pitchforks. We shall bring the sticks and the torches. We shall burn them out of their homes. Yes. No, listen, I want to say something too. Remember, there's a lot of people who work at Hasbro. They're really good folks.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the ones making these decisions in the most part. In fact, some of them, because there's been leaks, right? If these leaks are real, some of them probably disagree with it to the core of their being, but they need their jobs.
Yeah.
So remember to direct your frustration and your anger in the appropriate places. And
have civil discourse about it.
And civil discourse. And remember, I really want you to hear this. It could be a period of pain, all right? It could be. And it could kind of suck for a while for people. Most people will be fine. And actually, this disruption that they may unintentionally cause to their own market, and believe me, you don't want to cause market disruption unless you have a really good plan for what the next phase is, which they might. This is what I talked about earlier, right? They might have a really good plan, okay? But you cause market disruption. You create competition, you empower competition, you embolden competition, right? And competition brings cool things and gives other people chances.
Yeah.
So, any other last quick questions, cameraman?
No, and we're over by 10 minutes.
Was this good, friends? I hope you liked it. I hope it was not too long. I thank you, Grant, for coming and joining us. This was
Thanks
fantastic.
for having me, yeah.
And here we go. We'll probably do more talks about this because I think there's more to come. May all your adventures
be gooey.
Sticky.
Sticky.
Yeah, gooey and sticky. Bye, friends.
Close enough.